I'm Tom.
And I'm Molly.
Welcome to Friends at Gameology, hosted by MoonlightCrew.com.
Reviews for science.
In 7 minutes or less.
Warmachine High Command is the game we will talk about today. So this game is a deck building game where the cards that you can purchase are your own personal archive cards. So you choose 3 of your main guys, and then they each have a color, and you pick one of the colors from each of them, and they can't be the same, and that's what you build your personal archive to purchase with. And so you've got these cards to buy, put in your deck, and it acts like a deck builder. And what you're going to do with these cards is try to control bases, much like Smash Up. So you're going to play your cards, you have to pay for the cost to play them, to deploy them, and to purchase them. There's a cool feature, you can move them straight from here to there for maybe a little bit more. And that's pretty much the game. It's if you have 2 more people than anyone else on a base at the beginning of your turn, you get the base. And the game is over on 2 conditions. If the card that comes out of the base deck that says game over happens.
That's here.
Oh, it's over there. Or if, what's the other one?
If the
this
location
deck runs out.
right. We've never had that
Yeah,
happen.
so I'm like, I don't remember. So if the location deck runs out, or if the card says game over, count your points. It's pretty much what it is. And it's in the bottom 5 cards. So that's the game. Simplicity versus complexity.
This game is very simple. There are some times we had to go to the rule book to just make sure we're doing things correctly. You're not supposed to rush your cards. That's when you put it straight to the base instead of putting it in your discard pile and then eventually drawing it. You can't do that on the first couple of rounds. These guys, your big bads, they only stay for 1 battle, then they leave. And so there's a couple things you have to remember, but for the most part, this is like any other deck builder, except that there are no common cards to speak of. You are only purchasing from your own private resources. So there's really no competition for the good cards like in other deck builders, which is kind of a fun quirk. Very simple.
Yeah, I would agree. There's a lot of card text on here, and there's a lot of keywords, but all of the keywords are explained on the card. So that's nice. It doesn't just say penitence. Like, it explains what that means, or it just doesn't just say good aim or whatever that card, stealth. It explains what it is as well, and so that helps. Sharpshooter, that's what I was looking for. Yeah. So it is pretty simple. I explained it, and that's pretty much the game. Whoever has the most power, you kill your other people, and you fight, and just like a normal battle, defense to offense, and so it's pretty simple. Luck versus strategy.
This game is 100% decided by who goes last, and so if you can keep, it's lucky whoever rolled the dice and didn't get to go first, basically. Each time we've played, the person who's gone last wins because this last card, unless you get through all of these, which we've never done, it's not like we haven't tried. You get this card that says, for each location, if a player has at least 2 more cards than any other player there, he immediately captures that location. Then destroy all army cards and the game ends. Well, that just means that everyone in that round, you don't know when this is coming up, it's in the bottom 5 cards, and so everyone in those last several rounds is trying to take locations, and everyone else behind that person with another turn gets a chance to respond to them taking the locations, but the last person has no one responding to them. As long as they just put down 2 people per location, they will get those, and you just cannot fight those points. So the strategy in this game is so much fun and really great until that last card, which just, what a game breaker. But I mean, it just makes it so lucky. Like, who's going last? Well, you just pack this thing up, you just won.
Congratulations. Yeah, I would agree. During the game, there's lots of strategy. When are you going to use your big guys because then they go away? When are you going to use the cards you buy? Because once they go to a base, they're gone. They're out of the game. You still get the points on the cards, but they're gone. And so if you use a really good guy in the very beginning, you're not going to have the rest of the game. So the strategy is cool. When are you going to deploy? When are you going to rush? I think it's really cool. But yeah, the ending kind of, it takes it away because it ended and I was like, oh, I get this base. Well, I win. And that's just kind of what happens when we've played. Fun versus boring. I have enjoyed playing, but I don't think I would pull it out so often. So I don't know what it is. I like the theme, obviously magic and weapons and spells and all these things. So I like the theme, but just something about it. I won't pull it out. It's a lot of setup. I don't know. That doesn't stop me in other games, but maybe it's the ending thing. It's kind of like, well, it was fun. It was fun to play, but congrats on being last.
2 things keep this from being a truly fun game, because I do enjoy myself when I play it. Like, I really do. I've enjoyed myself each time. But the text is so small, and I mean,
tiny.
Let's just be real. I don't know if you can see these glasses. but they're huge. My eyesight could be better. And when I'm looking at this tiny, this infinitesimal text, I mean, I've asked friends, I'm like, what does yours even say? And they say, oh, it's irrelevant. It won't do anything now. And they're telling the truth, of course. But I mean, it's just too much to be like, all right, hold on here. It's so small. And so even my own cards, I get fatigued just trying to be like, wait a second, what? And I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's got to be more people out there with, as bad or worse eyesight than me. And so like it's just too much fatigue.
It is really small.
But the other thing is just what keeps this from being fun is just that ultimately what you do doesn't matter. Like, of course, you need to keep up, but everyone can pretty much keep up. And I suppose we could all just blast whoever's taking the last turn and try to keep them down the rest of the game or something. But that's just kind of
But you don't know.
scripted. I don't know. There's so much fun in this game that just gets killed on that ending condition. It's just such bad game design. Everything else was really good game design, and that one thing just tanks it. Just tanks it from being what could have been a way fun game. Board Game Geek rating, I'd probably give this a 4, because I mean, there's fun, so I'm not giving like a 1 or anything, even though it's a little bit broken, but there's fun. It's fun. I want to play it. Like, I actively want to play it, but man, I get to that ending condition, I'm just like, this is a 4 from you.
Maybe a 4.5, because I enjoy myself while playing.
Like, without that, I'd give this an 8.
Without that, I might not give it that high, but 4.5. Whenever we get to multiples of 500 subscribers, we give away a free glitter painting of your favorite superhero icon. So make sure to subscribe now on YouTube.
Because it could be you that wins.
Warmachine High Command. We've presented the evidence.
You be the judge.